In the West, we're kind of raised on this one simple idea. Bigger is better. A bigger house, a bigger car, a bigger life. But what if that whole philosophy is, well, wrong? In Japan, living small isn't some kind of compromise. Nope, it's a very deliberate choice for a life that's smarter, calmer, and, believe it or not, so much richer. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that is.
But first, just think about this for a second. That dream home, right? The one with a giant mortgage and all those rooms you hardly ever step foot in? Does it actually bring you freedom? Or, if you're being really honest, does it just create a ton of stress, a mountain of debt, and this constant pressure that you never really signed up for?
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tear down that bigger is better myth and look at the minimalist mindset that flips it on its head. Then, we'll dive into the brilliant engineering of Japanese microhomes and see how the city itself is part of the design. After that, we'll do a head-to-head on the true costs of living big versus small, and finally, we'll talk about what it really means to live a rich life.
Okay, let's kick things off with that classic Western dream. From the outside, a big house just screams success, doesn't it? But what nobody really talks about is the hidden dark side. How these massive homes can become a quiet drain on your time, your bank account, and your sanity. It's this layer of stress that just simmers under the surface.
And wow, when you put the two approaches side by side, the difference is just stark. On the left, you've got the Western dream, which so often means massive debt and a never-ending to-do list of upkeep. But on the right, the Japanese way is all about intentionality. It's not about having less stuff for the sake of it, it's about making sure everything you do have actually serves a purpose, and that leads to a much more balanced life. So this brings us right to the beating heart of the Japanese approach, minimalism. And listen, this is not just some trendy interior design thing with white walls and a single chair. No. This is a deep-seated mindset, a whole philosophy that shapes daily life in a way that just feels calmer and cleaner.
The whole idea isn't about deprivation, it's about curation. You're like the curator of your own life. When you walk into a Japanese home, you can feel how intentional everything is. Every single item has a job to do. The goal isn't to live with nothing, but to be surrounded by only the things that genuinely add value to your life.
And the benefits of this, they're huge. See, when your living space is uncluttered, your mind kind of follows suit. You're not spending your weekends cleaning and organizing stuff you bought on a whim. This mindset transforms your home back into what it's supposed to be, a real sanctuary, a place to actually recharge, totally free from the chaos of having too much stuff.
Okay, so you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do you actually live well in a tiny space without going crazy? Well, that is where some seriously clever engineering and design comes into play. In Japan, a small home isn't a downgrade, it's basically a masterclass in brilliant functional design.
In these homes, every single centimeter is put to work. It's incredible. Vertical space is everything, with shelves built right into the walls. The furniture is often like a transformer. A bed might just fold up into the wall to create a whole living area for the day. Huge windows make everything feel bright and open, and there's ingenious storage hidden everywhere. Under the floor, in the stairs, it makes a tiny apartment feel unbelievably spacious and functional.
Now this next part, this might just be the most important piece of the whole puzzle. You see, the microhome doesn't just exist in a bubble. The entire urban fabric of Japan is basically designed to support this way of life, making it not just possible, but actually way better. This quote right here just nails it. It says everything. Think about it. You don't need a huge kitchen, a home gym, or a massive entertainment room when all of those things are right outside your door, and they're fantastic. If you want to meet up with friends, you just go to a local cafe. Your apartment becomes this peaceful home base, not the container for your entire world.
And this is the incredible system that makes it all work so beautifully. You've got world-class public transit, so who needs a car? The neighborhoods are super walkable, putting amazing shops and restaurants literally steps away. And because the cities are famously safe and spotlessly clean, people naturally spend more time outside, enjoying the parks, libraries, and cafes that really do become their extended living room. Okay, so now let's flip the coin and pivot back to the Western model for a second. Let's really look at the true cost of living big. And it's so much more than just the price on the house. It's a cost you pay in your time, your freedom, and your peace of mind.
It's a sneaky financial trap, isn't it? The bigger the house, the bigger the upkeep.
You're heating and cooling these huge rooms you barely use. There's endless cleaning and that constant pressure to just buy more furniture to fill all that empty space. It creates this cycle of spending that just never, ever seems to end. And man, this quote, it just hits you right in the gut. Because for so many people, this is their reality. That dream of owning a home somehow becomes this heavy burden where your entire life starts to revolve around paying for a space you might not even have the time or the energy to really enjoy.
When you lay it all out like this, the picture becomes crystal clear. In the US, living big often means high debt, these soul-crushing, car-dependent commutes, and constant maintenance. But in Japan, living small translates to manageable costs, super efficient transit, and barely any upkeep. And the result? Well, it's more financial freedom and a whole lot less stress.
So all of this really forces us to stop and ask a pretty fundamental question. What does it actually mean to live a rich life? Japan's approach proves pretty convincingly that you don't need a dozen rooms or mountains of stuff to live incredibly well.
I think this quote just perfectly captures the entire spirit of this thing. It's not about sacrifice. It's a deliberate choice. It's choosing a life that values your well-being and your freedom way more than just the appearance of success. It's all about choosing balance over burnout.
So I'll leave you with this to chew on. After looking at this completely different way of doing things, what does living big really mean to you? Is it about the square footage of your house? Or is it about having the freedom, the time, and the peace of mind to actually go out and enjoy your life? Something to think about.